I hope everybody having a good day. Welcome back to Beyond the Fear podcast, a place where y'all come for a little motivation, uplifting, encouragement, and just some positive words. I'm your host, DJ, and today's episode is about sometimes people need to feel you before they hear you. And this episode was inspired by two conversations that I had just yesterday. One was with a friend who, felt like they had been asking, their management team to do things for them and maybe just asked once, but just asking for things and things not happening. And then, they finally got like a supervisor in there who saw how, unorganized and how messed up some things were. And then with them and the supervisor, kind of when they got together and they started, sending out some emails and making some phone calls. Now things are getting done, and it's like sometimes people gotta feel you before they hear you. Sometimes you gotta put people feet to the fire for them to move. Sometimes you gotta shake them trees until something fall out. So, sometimes that one conversation ain't enough. Sometimes you gotta go see the person. Sometimes email ain't enough. Sometimes a phone call ain't enough. Like I said, sometimes you just gotta see people in person, because sometimes they gotta feel you to hear you, because once they feel you, once you let them know, hey, I'm here, and they feel you, now all of a sudden here comes respect. Now all of a sudden here comes understanding. Now they're so understanding of what you're going through. Now they're so respectful of what you're going through, once they feel you. But sometimes that's necessary, and I get it, especially when it comes to the workplace, because one of the things that I can't stand is when you have somebody who's been there for a long time, whether they're in management or not, who's been there for a long time, and they've been there so long that they've gotten comfortable. And because they've gotten comfortable, they get disrespectful. And then when you go to your management team, or you go to whoever you need to report to, and you tell them, I'll just say John, I just call the person John, let's say, hey, John, did this, did that. You're just trying to go about things the right way because you're trying to resolve an issue and you don't want to go off. And they're like, oh, that's just John being John. When I tell y'all, that aggravates my soul to hear that. When I hear, oh, that's just John being John, or that's just this person being that person. To me, that tells me that you have a bad culture at this job, because one of the things that they love telling you in orientation in most jobs, or at least most of the jobs that I've been to, is we want you to be comfortable. You have every right to feel comfortable and to feel safe in your workspace. Well, if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you that one of the co-workers, or even worse, one of the managers or supervisors, somebody in management, is disrespecting me or making me feel disrespected, and your response to me is, well, that's just that person being that person. Okay, now I don't feel comfortable. Now I feel like you're on their side. Now I feel like no matter what I tell you, you're going to take that person's side, or you're going to overlook what they say and do because they've been here so long, you know them so well. And they may be a good person. I'm not trying to attack their character, but my thing is, they may be a good person and you may know that they intend well, but my thing isn't about your intentions. It's about what you did, because you can have the best intentions in the world. You can have the greatest intentions. What they say, the road to hell is paved with great intentions. So you can have the greatest of intentions. Does not mean that it always goes through like that. Doesn't mean that people always feel your good intentions. Sometimes people just feel the disrespect and they don't feel the good intentions. So when I hear stuff like, oh, that's just that person being that person, it annoys the hell out of me, because what you're telling me is that's a good enough excuse for that person to continue to disrespect me. And it's okay for them to continue to disrespect me. And I should just take it because that's just John being John, or that's Sarah being Sarah, or whatever the case may be. My thing is, no, that's not, I'm not finna do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting here saying I'm on some big rah-rah, I'm tougher than everybody. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I give everybody a certain level of respect. whether I know you or not. I don't have to know nothing about you. I don't even have to. This could be my very first day meeting you, seeing you, whatever. I'm gonna give you a certain level of respect, and that's just off top. And I demand that same level of respect back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you got to tell me no, sir, yes, sir, nothing like that. But what I am saying is, talk to me with some respect. Talk to me the way you would want somebody to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? With some type of respect, with some type of common sense. And when you don't do that, now the first time, like I said, especially if I'm new to something, if I'm new to a job or whatever, then yeah, I'm gonna do things the way I'm supposed to do it. Go to my manager or whatever and talk to them. If my manager hits me with the, oh, that's just John being John, all right, cool. The next time John do it, now John gotta feel me. And again, I'm not talking about anything physical. I'm not talking about putting my hands on John. I'm just talking about, I'm going to step to John, I'm going to talk to John, and John going to know that I'm dead serious when I say talk to me with some respect. Talk to me the way that I talk to you. Have a conversation with me the way I have a conversation with you. John going to feel that. Because I'm not going to put my hands on him. I'm not promoting no type of violence. I'm just saying that he going to feel me. He going to feel my words. He going to feel me through my words. And now all of a sudden, it's amazing how John now got some respect for me. It's amazing how John now has understanding. It's amazing how John now knows how to talk to me and how to communicate things with me. Because sometimes they gotta feel you. They gotta feel you before they hear you. And so that's just what I mean. Sometimes you gotta get your point across. You see what I'm saying? Because again, you got these places that do business, and they have people who've been around from maybe the day the doors opened up or whatever, and now they've built this what's the word? They've built this environment where, oh, he's been here for years, or oh, she's been here for years. They can do no wrong in the manager's eyes. So no matter what they do, they could be messing up with other coworkers, they could be messing up with customers, they could be talking crazy to their supervisors, and it's like there's always going to be an excuse made for that person because they've been there for a long time, or the manager knows them personally, so the manager looks at it like, okay, Sarah ain't a bad person, Sally ain't a bad person. They just come across that way. Sometimes you just got to get to know them. That's just them being them. To me, all of those are just excuses, because it should never be okay for somebody to go to management and to say, hey, this person is talking to me in a way that I feel in a way that it makes me feel disrespected. And the manager shouldn't be talking to that person. The manager shouldn't be having there should be no reason for that. But you know what I'm saying? But instead you hear, oh, that's just them being them. You just got to get to know them. Like, no, I shouldn't have to get to know them. I shouldn't even be at a point where I'm feeling disrespected. Or even if I do, and maybe it's a misunderstanding, there should be a conversation had. I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know if I told this story before, but I was working at a casino, and I was talking to one of my friends. We talking, and a lady, and it was another coworker who wasn't in the conversation, but she was at least close enough to ear hustle. She heard me say old lady, talking about my friend's lady, his lady, and I called her, I was something along the lines of, how your old lady doing, or something like that. She gets up and she goes off, like she starts snapping, and we kind of looking. At the end of the day, it's still a woman, so neither one of us is really getting aggressive, but we just kind of looking like, why all of this energy? And so for her, the old lady phrase, or the old lady term, is very offensive to her. For whatever reason, she has her reasons why she gets offended by it, and cool. So they had to sit us down, tell us, okay, even if we disagree and we don't feel like it's a negative term, to her it is. To her it's a derogatory term, whatever. And to me, I'm like, okay, that's how management should do it. You know what I'm saying? So from that point on, you know what I'm saying, if I wanted to talk how I wanted to talk to my friend, I had to make sure nobody was around. and then we have our conversation. Or if we did, we had to kind of watch what we said. Or if we knew the people who was around us was cool, we could have our conversations. But the main thing was we had to watch who we were around. But that's understandable. Even if I disagree with the lady about the term that I used, it's still offensive to her. It's not about how I feel about the term. It's about how she feels. She's the one who heard it. She's the one who has the problem. Okay, cool. So fast forward to other situations, or the example that I'm talking about now. It doesn't matter what the person's intent was, even if his intent was good, even if his intent was to try to train me, try to help me, try to get me to learn from a negative situation, whatever it was, it didn't come across that way. That's not the way I received it. I received it as disrespect. So when I go to my management and I do things the right way, I do things the way I'm supposed to do them, I should not be hearing, oh, that's just that person being that person. You got to get to know them. Just kind of let it go. And another thing that I shouldn't be hearing is, well, you're in the wrong. About how am I in the wrong? If somebody comes up to me, or if I'm dealing with a customer and this person don't like the way I'm dealing with a customer and he handles it unprofessionally, you know what I'm saying? Or he comes talk to me unprofessionally in a way that I find that's disrespectful, because I feel like even if I am doing something wrong, there's always a professional right way to handle things. And then there's a wrong way to handle things. And because this person has been at this job so long, they're so comfortable, they don't care about being professional anymore, because they know that they're not going to get in trouble for the things that they do. And that creates a bad culture within the company, because now, even if I was that person's supervisor, or if I was that person's manager, now I have no power, because no matter what I say, if there's somebody over me always willing to protect this person, it doesn't matter. Now I have no power to do what I need to do, because for me, if y'all don't know anything else about me, just know that I'm very big on respect. Now, because I don't mind if I'm saying something like in that example that I gave about when I was working at the casino, if I say something and I offend somebody, even though that wasn't my intentions, I don't have any problem apologizing and saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry for offending you. Obviously, that wasn't my intentions. Now I know, you know what I'm saying? So going forward, it won't happen again. Or even if it does, I don't mind apologizing and trying to correct myself, because if I use certain terms like old lady, and that's just a normal speech pattern for me, then I just have to kind of start coaching myself to not use that at all, or just coaching myself not to use it when you're around. So, you might have to remind me every now and then, but I'll get to the point to where I don't use it around you, or I may not just use it at all, just to try to clear that up, so I'm not thinking so much when I'm trying to talk. But I do that out of respect, because again, you came to me the right way and had a simple conversation with me and let me know, hey, I don't like that term, or I find that term offensive, whatever the case is. But that's how things should go when people come to anyone, whether I come to you as a coworker, whether I go to people as a manager, or I go to my friends, I go to family. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be. I should be able to talk to whoever about, hey, I don't really like that term, and it should just be, all right, cool. Now I get it. You're going to have your people who, well, I wasn't talking to you, quit ear hustling. In the way that I am, I can understand where they're coming from. Because even if I hear something that I personally find offensive and they just not talking to me, I just move. That's just me personally. Well, I take that back. It depends on what it is. It's certain things that I'm not gonna lie, it probably would trigger me to give a response. So let me not say that. But most of the time, I'm the type, if I can even hear the conversation, it's gonna be about something I don't want to hear about, I just move. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, especially if, like, for example, we on break and y'all are talking so loud that everybody in the break room can hear it. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect the break room. You got to respect other people's breaks. You know what I'm saying? Some people might even be on lunch. Like, you got to respect your surroundings. So to me, it's just about a respect thing. So even if another example would be, I was working at Home Depot, and we would have some very live debates about football, about rap, about just anything. And you know how when you get with people you cool with, y'all just get to talking, and sometimes and then y'all get to disagreeing and get a little loud. So one of the workers, started yelling like, "Hey, y'all take that outside, whoop de whoop." And you know what I'm saying? Me being me, I understand. Some people are on their break. Some people been working hard, you know what I'm saying, to put in about 4-5 hours of hard work. They just want to come back here for 15 minutes of just silence, dealing with customers and all this stuff. They just want 15 minutes of just peace. To me, I understood it. There was a few people who was trying to go back and forth with the man because of how he said it, you know what I'm saying, yet raising his voice. But to me, I understood where he was coming from. Again, it's a respect thing. We wasn't respecting the break. We wasn't respecting their break. We wasn't respecting their quiet time, their peace time, their 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or something. Like I said, some people were on lunch. We weren't respecting that. So it's one of those, you know what, nah, I got to eat that. I understand. I can't even get mad because if the shoe was on the other foot, I probably would have been like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I probably would have handled it the same way. I may have not yelled. I probably would have been like, man, can y'all take that outside? We trying to enjoy our break. So sometimes you got to understand, that I understood that even though he was yelling, I understood the intent behind it. So that's one of them situations where it could have come across as disrespect, but I understood the intent. You know what I'm saying? So if I understand the intent, I'll still come have a conversation with you, because at the end of the day, I still had a conversation with the guy about the situation. Because, he came to me like, was I wrong for what I said? Because he came to me and he was like, was I wrong for what I said? And I was like, no, you wasn't wrong for what you said. It's just the way you said it, the way you delivered it. Some people, you know what I'm saying, took it the wrong way because you yelling. So they don't even hear the message anymore. The only thing that they're recognizing, the only thing that they're computing is this person yelling at me. So now let me go yell back. Let me go. And so he understood. So he understood as well. So it's like, even when that person doesn't mean anything by it, you know what I'm saying, but you can understand the intent, you can still have a conversation with that person about the way they deliver the message or the message itself. But you can understand, but you can also say, I understood what you were trying to say, but next time, whatever. But with the first scenario where I don't understand the intent because all I'm hearing is disrespect. Nah, because again, my thing is, when it comes to respect, when it comes to disrespect, when it comes to not respecting me, disrespecting me, whatever the case may be, you gonna feel me. You might not feel me the first time, especially if I'm new there. Now, if I've been there for a long time and you're the new one, yeah, you gonna feel me. And again, not talking anything physical, not promoting violence, but you gonna feel my words when I come talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because again, there's a right way and a wrong way to handle things. And I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, but when I worked at Lowe's, I had a manager who loved trying to correct me in front of people or trying to correct me in front of customers. And there were times when you corrected me about stuff that I didn't even do, that wasn't even, you may have been correcting me about some stuff that happened a day I wasn't even here. And so I tried to do it the right way. I tried to pull her to the side, have a conversation with her about, hey, let's not do it like that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Call me into your office. We can have whatever conversation. Cool, because I'm the type of person, I can take constructive criticism. I can hear you when you say you're messing up in this area or you're doing this wrong. I'm cool with that. I don't mind that because I understand you have a job to do. And I understand that if I'm doing a job wrong, that might hurt you or that may make your job harder. So I'm very understanding when it comes to stuff like that. My thing is just make sure that when you're talking to me or you're correcting me or you're critiquing me, whatever it is that you're doing, just do it in the right and respectful way. Because when it comes to me critiquing you or me coming to be able to talk to you, I do it the right way. I don't do it when people are around. I don't do it when your higher ups are around to try to embarrass you. Or even if that's not my intention, even if that wasn't her intentions to try to embarrass me, my thing was when I came to you, had a conversation with you, I thought it would stop. You continued to do it. So cool. Even if that was not your intent to try to disrespect me or try to belittle me in front of people, that's the way I took it. And after me having a conversation with you about it, you still continue to do it. Now I'm really taking it that way. And so the next time I had a problem with her, I didn't say anything. I just let it build up, build up. And then the perfect opportunity, when some of her higher ups was around her talking, I went and I let her have it. And the look on all of their faces was like, but to me, I'm proving, I'm just making a point, because there was a few people who wasn't from the store, a few of her higher ups that wasn't from the store, who kind of looking like, wow, this is crazy. But there was at least two people who are at the store frequently or at the store every single day who understood exactly where I was coming from, and they knew exactly why I was doing that, because she's done stuff like this in front of them before to me. And this is even after I've talked to her about stopping it. So, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's one of those situations where, okay, you don't hear me. Cool. Well, now you finna have to feel me. You finna have to feel my words, because you're not hearing my words. So now you got to feel my words. So sometimes people got to feel you before they hear you. Sometimes you got to make sure that they feel your words, feel where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? Before they start to understand, before they start to respect you, before, you know what I'm saying? And it just sucks that that's what has to happen sometimes, but it is. You just got some people out there who are like that, who feel like, oh, well, let me test them. Oh, they a pushover. Oh, I can do this and I can do that. You ain't got no reason for acting this way. I've done nothing to you to make you feel like you need to act this way, but you're choosing to act this way just because. Or like I said, that might be the environment that they've created for you. So it might not be all your fault, because your supervisors have now allowed you to get comfortable enough to where you feel like you can talk to people in any type of way. So yes, your managers, the management team that's around, that's above you, whatever the case may be, they deserve some of the blame as well for allowing you to continue doing this. But you got to take some responsibility, because at the end of the day, it's you doing it. It's you talking to people crazy. It's you acting and reacting the way that you do. That's very, very disrespectful. And again, I'm the type of person, I give everybody, I don't care if you're the CEO or, you know what I'm saying, you the person who mopped the floors. I don't care who you are. I give everybody a certain level of respect, because that's just who I am. That's how I was raised. And that's what I want in return. It's just a certain level of respect. You don't got to treat me like I'm the boss or like I'm the man. Even if I am your supervisor or your manager, my thing is I give everybody a basic baseline level of respect right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you either gonna do stuff to make my respect for you go up, or you gonna do stuff that make my respect for you go down. But I'm gonna give you that base level of respect to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so when people cross that respect line into disrespect with me, and I've given you no reason to, yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person, yeah, you gotta feel me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feel my words. Again, especially if I've done it right the first time and I've gone to people. But once I hear, oh, that's just that person being that person, to me, as a management team, whoever told me that, I'm not listening to you. I'm not coming to you anymore, because you letting me know that you put whatever it is that you have with this person, whether it's a friendship, a bond, you put in their tenure here, you putting all of that over my respect. And so for that reason, that's going to be one of the things that makes my respect level for you go down, because my thing is nobody should ever have to feel disrespected at work, and nobody should ever feel comfortable disrespecting people at work. And those are two big things that I just stand on and stand by when it comes to anything. It ain't even about work. It's just about period. If we got to be around each other, period. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, whether that's work, whether that's home, this out and about in a grocery store, just whatever. It should always be a certain level of respect to me and to anybody. Nobody should have to feel a level of, nobody should have to ever get comfortable with being disrespected anywhere. And nobody should ever get comfortable with disrespecting people, because man, a lot of things come with that disrespect. A lot of things can come with that disrespect, and people feeling disrespected because you don't know the levels that certain people will go to for their respect. You got people who, again, are willing to, and again, not promoting it, but just speaking facts. You got people who are willing to die for their respect, willing to kill for their respect. So to me, you're breeding a very bad work culture, just bringing it back to work, when you are allowing people to get comfortable with disrespecting people. And I'm the type of person, I fight for people, but I'm only going to fight but so much, because I hate seeing it. I hate seeing people being bullied. I hate seeing bullies. I hate that bully mentality. I just don't like it. So if I see somebody being disrespected, again, especially if I'm not in a management position, then I'm gonna go talk to a manager. And if the manager is like, oh well, that person has to come say something to me, or that's just that person being that person, it's kind of like, man, damn. Because I'm the type of person, I don't mind fighting for you, but you gotta want it. You have to want your respect. You gotta be willing to fight for it. You have to be willing to stand up to this person or go. And I get it. Some people are gonna be like, oh, that's snitching, and it to me, it is what it is. Because like for me, like I said, about my respect, I'm not gonna play about it. So yes, the first time around, I am gonna, go talk to management. If management tell me something, like I said, something that they've been saying, like, oh, this person, that person, or the management say, hey, we're gonna handle it, I'm gonna let them handle it. The moment it happens a second time, then clearly either management didn't handle it, ain't got around to it, or whatever they said wasn't effective. Cool. Now you finna feel me. You know what I'm saying? Now you finna feel my words, because I'm like, for me, I just don't do it just because I go out of my way to make sure I give people, again, a certain level of respect, right? Even if you give me bad vibes, I haven't said a word to you, you haven't said a word to me. Even if you give me bad vibes, I'm going to still give you a level of respect, because number one, because I want that same level of respect back. And number two, you haven't done anything to me to deserve anything less than that basic level of respect. You know what I'm saying? You could just be having a bad day and your vibe could be off. I'm not going to lower my level of respect for you because I don't know you. You just may be having a bad day, and you may just be giving off a funky vibe because you're having a bad day, not because you're a bad person. The moment that you show me that you're a bad person, then in that moment, okay, cool. Because I don't care who it is, I'm going to be like, hey, good morning. How y'all doing today? So I'm going to do that in the rooms that I walk into, or when I'm getting ready to leave. How y'all have a nice day, whatever the case may be. And if I do it a couple of times and I see, okay, you just kind of giving me a stank face, okay, I'm not going to talk to you personally. I might say, hey, everybody, when you're in the room, that way I don't have to talk directly to you. And when you're not in the room, I might address people individually. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it don't take, and I get it, there are some people who aren't morning people. I completely understand. That's why I don't take it as disrespect. But my thing is, if I say good morning to you, just say it back. And if you don't say it back, that's fine. I'm not taking it as disrespect. But don't, like, a couple of weeks later, when I'm saying good morning to certain people and I don't say good morning to you after saying good morning to you 3 or 4 times and you just looking at me crazy, don't then get mad and say, well, hey, he's ignoring me. No, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just giving you the energy that you gave me. Because when I give you the good morning energy and I tell you good morning, you want to ignore me. And again, that's fine. You may not be a morning person. Why would I continue to say good morning to you? I'm just not. That's not how I'm built. That's not what I'm going to do. The moment you show me, okay, you're not going to reciprocate that good morning, you're not going to give that good morning energy back. Not mad at that. Completely understand. I will skip over you. Or I would just say good morning to everyone. And then as the individuals start to talk to me, I'll start to talk to them individually. And I just won't say much to you, but at least I would have said good morning, everyone, which is what I normally do. So, man, I say all of that to just say, sometimes people got to feel you. Some Sometimes they just gotta feel you, because sometimes people just have it in their head that they above you, or they might have let this position get to their head, or they may have been in like management for so long that they forgot what it's like to, you know what I'm saying, be on the front line of, you know, retail and having to deal with customers. And they may have just forgotten that. And to me, I don't care. I'm one of those people. I don't care who you are. You could be the owner, the CEO, the manager, the supervisor, whatever. I don't care. You're going to give me my basic level of respect, just like I'm going to give you your basic level of respect. And my thing is, if need be, you gonna feel me about my respect. You gonna feel me about my job. Because even going back to the conversation that I said with my friend, if I'm doing something by myself, or if I'm in an area by myself and I'm doing a 2-3 man job, but I'm doing it by myself, and I'm trying to get information from y'all, so I'm sending y'all emails, I'm sending phone calls. There should be no reason for y'all to take 2, 3, 4 months to get back to me about. I'm not waiting that long. I'm coming to you 2-3 times a day, as far as an email, as far as a phone call. If I know where your office is and I got some free time, I'm coming up to your office. Like, come on, man, help me out. Y'all know I'm down here struggling by myself. Help me, like, give me, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what I was just telling her, like, you know, so sometimes they just gotta feel you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes one conversation ain't gonna be enough. Sometimes you gotta go shake that tree. Sometimes you gotta go put people's feet to the fire. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like that really resonated with her, because again, once she started to do that, once she started to shake those trees, once she started to call certain people, certain higher ups, and then it's like, oh, what you need? And it's like, what was that energy before? When I'm emailing you, why do I have to go to your boss, or go to people above your head, or go to people at your level, to now have to look at you and be like, well, what are you doing that the people under you don't have what they need, that they need to come talk to me? And I get it. So you don't want to cause those problems. Sometimes you don't want to cause those problems, but sometimes you have to, because they not giving you what you need. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with shaking a few trees to get what you need. Now, I'm not saying shake those trees just for the sake of shaking them. But what I am saying is, if it's going to help you do your job, and they're not giving you the tools, the training, the things that you need to do what you need to do correctly and at a high level, then go do what you got to do. Go shake those trees. Go make sure people feel you. Make sure people know what's going on with you down there in that situation. You might be down there in that basement by yourself, and because you're not being seen, you're being forgot about, and you're not being heard. Cool. So if they aren't seeing you, they aren't hearing you, now they got to feel you. And again, not talking anything physical, just talking, they got to hear your words. So, you know what I'm saying? Go shake those trees. Go do what you got to do to make sure that you have what you need to do your job effectively, and to do your job to the best of your ability. But man, that's today's episode. That's today's message. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they got to feel you before they hear you, because they're not going to understand you. They're not going to feel you. They're not going to respect you. Some people, not everybody, but some people are just like that. They ain't going to give you none of that but they got to feel you first. And the moment they feel you, now all of a sudden you're a human being. Now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, they're hearing you. Now all of a sudden they're understanding you. They understand, you know what I'm saying? Wow, you know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing, and they know who to do it with, because they're going to do it with the people who don't make sure they feel them. They going to, you know, that's who they do it with. They do it with them. But the ones who done already let them know, that done put them, done drew that line and let them know, hey, you crossing it. They no longer cross that line. So make sure you letting these people know. Make sure you making sure that these people feel you. If they're not hearing you, if they're not taking the time to listen, make sure that they feel you, and watch and see how things change when they start to feel you. But man, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen, to tune in to what we got going on over here. I just want to say thank y'all again for tuning in, for listening, for liking the videos, liking the shorts, and continuing to help me build my fan base, help me build my online family. I do appreciate every like, every share, every comment, whether it's y'all talking about my glasses or whatever. I appreciate everything, you know what I'm saying? And I want to keep running it up, keep doing it big, you know what I'm saying? Continue growing. And again, Thank y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please share and tune in every Monday for the new episode. Y'all have a blessed day.